If anybody knows how to start a party, it's my brother, Andrew. Or should I say, the jig conductor.
It's fine. It's so cute. It's so good.
No, Mom, if anybody sees that, I'm gonna get put on a watch list. I can't believe college is over.
You have a job now, or?
We're not allowed to talk about jobs at the Bar Mitzvah party.
So you either don't have a job or you have a bad job.
How much does a party starter get paid, I wonder?
I have a bet.
Cooper, congratulations. This is such a great film.
Thank you.
It kind of reminds me of 8th grade. You really capture what real life is like for a lot of young people, kids, teens, 20-somethings. And this is your second feature too, and the other one was great. Has it come easily to you making these?
No, but no, not at all. It's really hard to make movies. But I tried to make them feel as authentic as possible. And I think it is easy when I'm making a movie about a person that I haven't necessarily shed yet. I feel very close to it. I don't feel like I have an objective view in any way. And I think that subjective nature is kind of where a lot of the juice comes from with the 2 movies that I've made.
Well, that's why I guess they feel so authentic. And something that I appreciate about Andrew so much is that film really celebrates flawed people in a sort of over proportional way. And he's a good person. He's a good son, brother, friend, and party starter. He's got nothing but good intentions for other people. And I find that really refreshing. So would you comment on that?
Yeah, I think that he is, I really wanted to make a movie about someone who is much more comfortable putting his hands under Domino's elbows than he is being alone by himself. And he's at this really specific point in his life where he can really spend time on his own and figure out who he is and what he wants to do. And I think he's just much more comfortable being that good friend or that good partner. And I think that's I'm really glad that it's refreshing, but I think it's also a big part of his flaw too, is that he doesn't have those boundaries. And I think that's why it's refreshing, because he just lacks so many preconceived notions about like the way you're supposed to act as a professional, or the way you're supposed to not like dive into someone else's home. But yeah, I think he's an odd duck for sure.
Honey, I'm not just saying this because I'm your mother, but I feel like you're way ahead of the game.
Who's that?
That's a mom and her kid.
Do you 2 dance?
We're not feeling it right now.
How about I bet you $300 I can get her on the dance floor?
I will give you $1,000.
I want to take me to Funky Town. Want to take me to Funky Town.
She really likes you.
I really like her. Tonight is the night that you and Lola dance your booties off. Oh, I don't know how to moonwalk.
Well, I think he's pretty terrific, but he's not perfect, because a couple of times he fails to notice his little brother's pain. And this wonderful little guy, Evan, cries because you've abandoned him. Andrew's abandoned him.
Yeah.
And I wonder how you helped Evan sort of get into that moment in terms of as acting or just feeling.
Really it's a really specific answer. Well, first of all, Andrew, he's very focused on Domino and Lola, and he's going 120% in that direction. And he's really overlooking the fact that this little brother is just as sensitive as he is. And that moment on set was the worst, because he we loved each other so much. And I think he knew I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'll say it. I think he wasn't believing when we were in the scene, because it wasn't I could see it wasn't really landing. Like, he didn't look as upset. And so I kind of went really hard on him, and I kind of delivered the lines in a way that, like, I kind of rewrote the lines a little bit, and to like kind of look at him, and I knew him well, and this sounds like I'm just taking advantage of a kid, but I really had a moment where I said something that I knew would affect him, and it did, and that's the performance that we got. But right after we called cut, I ran to him and I said, I didn't mean it. I hugged him really tight.
But
And
you hear
yeah.
You hear stories of directors doing that through time.
Yeah,
It's not a new story. So as long as you ran to him afterwards and gave him a big hug, you're forgiven, I think.
Yeah, I and his mom was like, I was close with them, and I think they trusted me, and I hope it felt like the safest space. But yeah, that was a scene that was tough, because I really wanted him to feel that hurt, and the only way I knew how was to say it a little more aggressively.
Well, please tell him that he's just wonderful, and that moment made me tear up. So that was very effective.
Do you think he would be a good sitter for you?
I do not do well with sitters.
But I think it might be a bit different with Andrew. Do you want to meet my hamster?
Yeah.
I want to thank you for being so kind to Lola.
Easiest thing in the world.
I'm having more fun now than I did the whole night.
Back to Domino, played by Dakota Johnson. Andrew's falling in love with her, and she's attracted to him as a friend, and, putting aside any romantic feelings. And it seems to me that she's doing everything right, but she's also keeping her toe in the water, which I found interesting. So that's kind of hard for Andrew to navigate that, I would say. And I wonder if this had any parallel in your life.
Well, it does.
Sorry.
I don't want to tell you all about it, but yeah, there's this thing about Andrew that I think he's very calculated and thoughtful, and it's not about, the movie's not will they, won't they, it's what does it mean for us to be together, and what does it mean for us not to be together, and why not, and like just a bunch of questions like that, and also just this, at the core, it's these two people helping each other get strong for these very different phases that they're entering. And Domino, it's such a good metaphor that you just said, like, she's dipping her toe in that freedom, and before she was doing it in a really self-destructive way, I think, and Andrew kind of brought her this gift of goodness, I think, in a way that, like, here's this kid who's about to enter this phase that I did not get, and I'm seeing him, and I'm like, how lucky, and thank you so much for giving me some moments where I felt really free. And the other thing I think that he gives is this, I think Domino was left before, and I think it's very scary to enter this marriage with Lola, because I think she has this, not just protective of Lola, but like, I think Andrew reminds Domino how easy it is to embrace Lola, and how easy she is to be comfortable around, and for her to feel comfortable. And I think it's almost like that's the dumb, silly thing that Andrew gives her, is that, like, that's why she's keeping her toe in it, I think, because and yeah, it's really tricky for Andrew to navigate, because I think the whole time he's trying to be calculated about, like, I want to end up here. I think I could be the father, the surrogate dad here. I think I could be your soulmate. And, but I think also she gives him this moment of relief. He's got all this childhood baggage. And I think Donna represents his relationship with his mother in a lot of ways. And she kind of at the end there, why he's crying so hard, is like, I'm relieving you of this thing that you have, this drive that you have to make me happy. I am happy, and I want you to figure out what makes you happy as an individual.
Yeah. Just such a great film. Honestly, thank you so very much, Cooper.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Do you have a husband?
I have a fiance.
I hear you're a great party starter.
I hear you're a great professional lawyer.
Lots to figure out after college.
Giving your heart to somebody is the most perplexing thing. You can't just decide that you love somebody.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
We don't need you to babysit anymore.
Why?
Lots of reasons.
Are you drunk right now, son?
Everything's just a mess.
Growing up is hard.
Is he your soulmate?
Do you believe in soulmates?
I think we all have a ton of soulmates.
How many soulmates?
For you, like 4,
How many do you have?
like 1,200.